The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
Richard Martin here for the Eagles Sports Network as cross-country team wraps up their season at the NCAA Division II Southeast Regionals this weekend. I'm here with cross-country coach Mike Spooner, and Coach Spooner, you're literally about to leave in just a few minutes as we conduct this interview. But let's go back to 2 weeks ago at the South Atlantic Conference Championships. Women's team finished 7th, men finished 9th. Good showing by Rachel Strayer, getting third-team All-Conference, her first straight All-Conference honors. What's your big takeaway, though, from how the team performed at the SAC Championships?
We competed well. I mean, the conference has gone enormously better than previous years. Rachel had actually ran faster time-wise than years past at the conference meet and then finished, farther back. So it just shows the conference is definitely getting better, but so are we. Our spread from 1 to 5 was not as tight, specifically 4 to 5 as I would have liked. That did add some points, But even with that being said, we were very close to 4th in a overall point standing, and so, we were just on the opposite coin of that. And I think going into regionals, we hope to get on the positive side of that coin, but certainly good for us on the women's side, considering that we were a very distant 7th at the beginning of the season to now talking about, a little bit closure of gap moves us into a 4th, and that's great for a short amount of time that we've had to build. On the guys' side, one of our 5 got sick during the race, and obviously set him back enormously. If he had finished where I had projected him to, that would have put us in 6th, which would have been 6th or 7th, which would have been ahead of our 8th preseason ranking as well. So, so certainly positive gains, in realistic formats, for us. But again, with everybody being so young and everybody having the opportunity to return next year, it just allows us to look forward to what can be, and obviously lots of other teams have that too, but for us being even on the younger side of that for a majority of the team and a lot of people debuting at conference, certainly a lot to be excited about. But certainly the one big takeaway was the effort was certainly there regardless of what the expectations were going in.
So now you look ahead to this Southeast Regional meet down in Spartanburg, South Carolina, Millikan Research Center. What's about this course is going to be a little bit different or similar to the courses you've run so far this year?
I think very different. Obviously, a lot of what we designed was to get ready for the conference and then use those lessons learned from the year and the motivation and the positives of the conference to go into the regional, which I think a lot of the team certainly took away from that, or maybe have conference as an expectation of what they need to do better going into the regional, regardless of course design. It's supposed to be colder, which I do think helps some of our athletes out a little better, just because for us, a little different weather here in the mountains here of Jefferson County compared to maybe some of the Carolina schools or even some of the southern Georgia schools that may shock their body a little bit. But some of our morning practices will, I think, work in our favor in terms of their bodies being used to what needs to be done. It's supposed to be raining, I believe, tonight, so it might cause the course to be a little messy. I don't think it's going to be anything crazy, but it's certainly going to rely a lot on more strength than necessarily speed. And I'll say that I think a lot of our runners are more in that category than necessarily just having that raw, talent of speed that can show at McAlpine. So a course like this, some of those that had beaten us at McAlpine, with everything being perfect, maybe don't do as well. It might work in our advantage, hopefully. So, but we'll see. I mean, they're ready for it, and we really looked less about it as a course, but more about it as saying, hey, let's walk away with positive races, which will take us going forward.
Looking at your men's side, you only have 2 runners that have run a 10K before. That was, of course, 2 years ago at this same event. How is the mentality in preparing for the 10K, the furthest race of the year? Has that changed any in practice, or how's that worked?
It's really been more of controlling what we can control, especially with everybody being so young. I mean, even on the women's side, 4 of our top 5 made their 6K debut, a week, 2 weeks ago, surely. So that distance is still fairly new for them. But on the guys' side, really a big part of our strategy is going to be working together as we have done in workouts, and applying that into the race and knowing that your teammate is nearby you to push you through that additional 2K, in terms of it being the 10K distance. So a big part of it has been, just focusing on, hey, whether it's 10K, whether it's a mile, whether it's 8K, we need to pick up some good race habits and walk away with good efforts. Certainly, we like to always, as athletes, say that, hey, I gave my 100, I gave my all, gave my 100%. Those are the mantras, but sometimes whether you're nervous or scared, that doesn't always happen. And so, really, the big focus has been making sure that we go in and we walk away and saying, hey, this was what I gave, this is what I had, and see what the result is from there.
Coach Spooner, thank you for your time and best of luck.
Thank you.
Eagles will start on Saturday at 8:30 a.m. with the women's 6K.